All right, this is the next episode of True Wrestling Fan Discussions. Today's going to be a special episode of dedication to my friend Peter, good friend of the channel. Unfortunately, he passed away recently. The Undertaker was his favorite wrestler, so we're going to be doing an episode on Coliseum home video. The Undertaker, he buries them alive. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank, man. Let's go ahead and get into it. Um, it was released? They released it in March 21st,
21st,
1995. This is
1995. Yeah,
a
Coliseum
not a
home video.
not a best of, but some of Undertaker's matches
Yeah,
in 1994. He wrestled half the year. He was injured. Remember, from real quick for anybody that doesn't know, Undertaker was written off television at the Royal Rumble that year to deal with some injuries. It wasn't at WrestleMania 10, 1994. They still had the limited pay-per-views, not
mhm.
got the every month. So he did not return until SummerSlam, excuse me, in the famous Undertaker versus Undertaker match with the whole storyline with the Million Dollar Corporation. But I mean, overall, I mean, it's not a bad list of matches that he had.
It's only an hour.
Then,
Video's
yeah,
only an hour. Yeah.
yeah, most of them usually were. I mean, after a while, you start watching, your fifth match with the guy, and you're like, oh, good, another one. Uh, funny, DiBiase is the one that hosting
Yeah, the
the
host of
video of
it.
all
He
people.
mentions that he's the one that brought him in at remember
Well,
Survivor Series, and he brought in the fake Undertaker too in
exactly.
'94.
Yeah. And speaking of that, let's kick it off.
Yeah,
That's the first
SummerSlam.
one.
Yeah, it's funny. So I saw this with Peter actually. I saw it at his house. SummerSlam '94. I believe it was actually his brother's birthday, Manny. I think it was his birthday on that day of SummerSlam, and I remember us watching it all together. And I remember the build up. We were so excited. The Undertaker was coming back, and through the whole build up, like when you didn't. I mean, we
The
kind of
build-up was
knew.
great.
I mean, remember early on, the Undertaker came back, but it wasn't him, and everyone was like, they weren't really sure whether it was or it wasn't, and there was all sorts of rumors. Then there was the search for the Undertaker. Who could forget that?
Leslie
They would
Nielsen.
show, all of that stuff, and on Superstars of Wrestling, I think Raw too, they would show like they were sightings, right? They were sightings of the Undertaker, and I remember us, me and Peter and his brother, we were just so excited that the Undertaker was coming back. Unfortunately, the match wasn't.
Match was crap. Remember on the Heartbreak Hotel, is when we heard from the Undertaker when DiBiase had the fake one out there,
Oh yeah, yeah. The
and,
lights
and the
were.
under and the Undertaker, you hear him talking, and you see the fake one like looking around, like what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
Shawn
yeah, yeah.
Michaels is getting freaked out.
No, it
The,
was
the buildup was awesome.
the build-up was awesome. And even the beginning when Paul Bearer comes out with the casket, and you're like, "Where's the Undertaker?" And
And
then
Lawler's like, he's got no taker,
yeah,
Vince.
and the giant urn, the
Yes.
urn with that big must be like a big flashlight in there, and like
Yeah.
he comes out with the purple, which was cool to see him in a different
I
color.
that was my favorite.
Yeah. Hmm.
And the new revised music,
Hmm.
which was pretty cool.
Hmm.
What also added to the match being not good was the fact that the ring was you could tell that the ring was a little loose from the cage match that they had previous because every bump you could hear everything on that ring rattling around. I'm surprised
Yeah.
the damn thing didn't fall apart.
I'm not sure I might have mentioned it when we did this review. I think that Brett and Owen ran over time, I think. So they had to rush that
Yeah,
match, Undertaker versus Undertaker. I mean, I don't think it would have been any better, but I think that was the story.
I think an 8 to 12 minute match between
It
these
was
two
fine.
would have been perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
They didn't really have chemistry either. It was
No, and the temper tantrum of the fake taker didn't help. I mean
yeah,
that right there, I'm like, okay, they had to put that in there.
yeah.
And of course, Taker, three tombstones to beat the fake one,
Right, it was
and puts him,
this is the
takes
main
him
event.
out. Yeah.
This is the main event
Then he
too.
goes after DiBiase. DiBiase's heading out of there. He's like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, the build-up was better than the match itself because when they first
Right.
announced it, we're all like,
What the?
"Wait, what are you talking
This is
about?
crazy. Yeah. It was
Undertaker versus
fun.
Undertaker?"
It was fun though.
Because when they brought the fake one out, you could tell
The Undertaker.
right away. Yeah, Undertaker. So I mean, but it was a pretty good return. It was a good return for him. The
Yeah.
crowd was going nuts, and like I said, all the slapstick with Leslie Nielsen and George Kennedy on this, especially with the whole Domino's thing, pizza, and then
Oh
they're
yeah, who
like,
could forget that?
we're hot on the case, and they're stepping on the case, and the
Yeah.
Undertaker's, but this way,
Uh-huh.
it was great
Yeah, it was
storytelling, but
fun. It
the
was
match could
fun.
have been better
Yeah.
for us at that age. Yeah, try to
Hmm.
do that now, no. Then they showed for Monday Night Raw, September 12th, 94, a month after, Taker versus
Yeah.
Quang.
Quang. It's kind of a throwaway match. So who
Yeah,
won?
unfortunately. I mean, eventually becomes Savio Vega, which would have been probably better to see him, wrestle as that. But it's on, and then of course it doesn't help that Randy
Yeah.
Savage is doing the commentary.
Yeah. Undertaker's working off the rust, he's back. He's working off the rust.
Quang
So,
right now is one of the upper echelon because they don't have anybody at
yeah.
this, really. Well,
Actually,
94 still wasn't a bad year.
no, it doesn't get bad till 95. I actually like
Exactly.
Quang,
Yeah.
believe it or not. At that time, like remembering back, I actually did like Quang because I was all into the martial arts stuff, like the martial arts movies, Van Damme, Seagal, all those guys, Bruce
Oh
Lee,
yeah.
obviously. So
And then of course he did something from the Great Muta with the Mist,
yeah.
which was pretty cool that he would do.
Hmm.
I thought it was at first I thought it was cheesy because I thought it was just another gimmick wrestler that Vince is bringing out at this point. That will make you got to move past it at this point. And then when they brought him out of Savio Vega, I thought they were going to push him. Like it really looked like they were going to do that, and then it just
Yeah, it
halted.
just fizzled.
And then they had nothing for him. And then when he fought Steve Austin strap matches and all, I was like, all right, maybe they're going to rejuvenate him. No, unfortunately, no.
Undertaker
But
wins.
take it, of course. This is his video. You can't
Yeah.
lose. After that, one of my favorites. I love this one, and I know you love it for a certain reason, and I'm going to let you
Well, there's
have
a
that moment.
couple different reasons.
But they showed the end of the feud, and this was a great feud. I love this feud
Oh yeah,
between
yeah.
Undertaker and Yokozuna.
Hmm.
Two friends on the outside working together. Had great chemistry in the ring. Great storytelling. This was awesome. The casket match at Survivor Series,
This
and
is the
this was the
rematch
revenge for the Royal Rumble.
for what happened at the Royal Rumble, and it had been building for a while because remember, Survivor Series in '93 or the
That's
All
where it
Amer
all started.
yeah. That's where it
Foreign fanatics against All
All
Americans.
Americans, yeah. And the whole thing with the new cat, the double deep, double wide. Funny story about Peter, because he was such a huge Undertaker fan, man. And this was during the Kane and Undertaker feud. I remember it's funny when you're kids, the things that you say when you're young, man. It's just funny stuff. He had beef with this kid on the block, nothing serious, but he kind of had like a feud with him. And Peter was telling me he was going to go down to Home Depot and get a bunch of wood, and he was going to go into his basement and he was going to build the double deep, double wide casket, and he was gonna fight him, and after the fight he was going to throw him in the casket and set it on fire, which obviously he
Nice.
really wasn't
Oh
gonna he really wasn't gonna
man.
do it, but it's just we would laugh about stuff. Wrestling was such a big part of our lives that we would always play around with stuff like that. But I have good memories when I see Taker and casket matches and stuff like that because I flash back to those moments.
Every time I hear Undertaker Kane, I'm thinking, "Welcome to your worst
Yeah. Oh God,
nightmare."
what a feud. But
Yes, definitely. But this one, I mean, it took the cake. I mean, you got Chuck Norris as a special
oh yeah,
enforcer,
yeah. This is during
making
the
sure
he was
nobody came down.
well, yeah, because of what happened when it was like what 9, 10 people, whatever it was at the '94
Diesel,
Rumble.
Head Shrinkers, Bigelow, Jarrett for some weird reason. Diesel's the only one I thought that didn't like. Why are you there? Like, because it didn't make sense because after he came back, Taker pretty much had matches against all the people that came out,
Right.
or
Hmm.
most of them except Diesel.
Well, yeah, because Diesel
Um,
Diesel turned babyface like
Pretty
around
much 2 nights
Survivor
after
Series.
this
Yeah, Survivor
event,
Series.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had all these guys making sure that Yoko won, and I'm thinking that when I'm watching the Rumble, I'm like, Yoko's like 500 pounds. Does he
Yeah.
really need all this help to beat the Undertaker? I
Yeah.
mean,
But
come
it was a
on,
spectacle. It was a spectacle.
it
But that
was
that ultimately led to this match, this rematch, because
exactly. And this time you had four guys come out, three trying to test Norris, one actually sneaking into the ring and
right, because it
trying to
was
take out the Undertaker.
right, it was Bundy and Bam Bam that came out at first, and
Yeah, and then
they were
IRS through the
and they were
crowd.
they didn't want any problems with Chuck, man. They were like
I wanted Bundy to do it.
they were like gonna go, but then they were hesitant. And the refs were obviously there, but Chuck Norris, he stood his ground, man. That's his Texas Ranger, Walker Texas Ranger. But yeah, like you said, IRS, he snuck through the crowd, I guess, right? He jumped out and
Yeah, put a sleeper hold on
yeah,
him, put him into the casket. Yoko's,
I was gonna
trying to wake himself up. Jarrett comes down, says, "I got this,
broke
boys."
he broke 6,000 guitars, never drew a dime. And when Jeff Jarrett came out, you could rap his on Cotton. I couldn't
And
tell
that
you,
that night you could.
dude, and I couldn't tell you how excited I was when Chuck Norris gave him that kick, man, and he went flying. He sold it good too, though.
Yeah, he did.
He sold it good. But I was going crazy, man. I was going crazy when that
I
happened.
loved it.
It's gonna happen to a better guy.
Oh yeah, and I was hoping Chuck would get involved. And like I said, I was really hoping Bundy would try. I'm like, let's see if he can put this fat bastard on his ass
Yeah, it was cool, man.
and stuff. And then ultimately Taker gets his revenge, wins the match. Unfortunately, it
Hmm.
wasn't for the title anymore like it was at the
Yeah,
Rumble,
I know, man.
but he still wins the match and then goes on into '95 to do absolutely nothing.
Jesus.
I mean, his feud with the $1 million corporate. He was feuding with. He had to finish this feud because he was feuding with the corporation. But unfortunately, every match for the corporation was weak as shit. I mean, the IRS he fights. He fights Bundy at WrestleMania, and Bundy at this point is 3 years,
Yeah, yeah.
past what he could do.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, uh, so it was a shame to see. But this was great to see, and I remember in '95, um, they had these two locked up once more on Monday Night Raw in a tag match, and then in '96, if I'm not mistaken, they actually teamed together. And Yoko was kind of like giving them the eye, like
Yeah.
can I trust you type thing. But and then they won the match. But yeah, it was always good seeing those two guys together, and they were best friends off
Hmm.
with the whole.
Lone Street Crew.
Yeah,
TSK.
exactly. So after that, the next match they had and okay, it was Undertaker versus Jim the Anvil Neidhart. This was a Superstars match from
Yeah.
November 19th, which was
Right
about a week
before.
away, a week away
Because
from Survivor Series.
they were mentioning the Survivor Series.
Yeah, and then of course you got
The
Owen
cast
at
match
ringside.
with the
Uh,
casket. And they
Paul,
got the
well, yeah,
casket.
Paul Bearer left and came back with the casket. And you got Owen going, "It's not supposed to be a casket
Owen.
match."
Owen was hilarious.
I loved him. One of
Hmm.
my I've said this before. One of my favorite underrated wrestlers.
Hmm.
At '94 was his year. I mean, it really
Oh yeah.
was.
Oh yeah.
And when he would get like he did in this match, I just loved it. I was like, because he sold it the best. He did
Hmm.
it the best.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And of course, Taker gets Neidhart into the casket, and just for the hell of it, Neidhart's like, I'm not having this. Wipe this shit off. He's out. Taker wins by
He's thrown
count
out
out.
of yeah.
Unfortunately, another guy that I mean was a few years past.
Yeah, he was past it at that
Really, I
point.
mean,
But
if you wanted to put him in a tag team match, great, let's do it. He was a great tag team wrestler, but I mean, at this point, it was just kind of he was winding down as well. And then, of course, the last one they showed. Anytime these two fought, it was like really. And this was the Undertaker versus Jerry the King Lawler casket match, September 28th, 1994. I believe it was in White Plains, New York.
yes, that's correct. Yeah.
This is like a one-sided fight.
Yes.
I mean, unless we're doing this a year from now when Isaac Jacobs helping him.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean,
This is just
this is if it's a
a
casket
throwaway.
match, it's a no DQ match, which I'm surprised Lawler didn't have anybody come help him. But I guess because it's a house show,
Right. Right.
let's just
Right.
get straight to the point. Squash him and be done with it. Tombstone thrown into, he chokes him out a little bit more, makes sure that he's out. Throw it like he really had to do that. Throws him into the casket, and that's the end of that. Lawler was
Yes,
like no contest for the
yeah, that
Undertaker. I'm
was
sorry.
kind of a waste. But yeah, it was just a 60-minute VHS. Coliseum would put some of this stuff out there like that, where it was just a very short
And
video.
we went crazy
Wrestling.
for it at the video
Yeah,
stores.
yeah, of course.
As
Yeah.
soon as we saw it, we grabbed
Anything,
them.
anything wrestling we saw in the video store we were grabbing because remember this is before YouTube, before the network, before everything.
Yeah.
You
How
know.
many times I went to the video store and rented WrestleMania 4 just because I
Yeah.
loved it,
Oh yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
the Hulkamania things, or any pretty much any one of them that
The
they would put
wrestling
out.
section.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I would go to like a few different local video stores because not everybody had the same stuff.
No, they
So
didn't.
you'd have to go searching. Like maybe one store had SummerSlam, the other one didn't. You know.
Blockbuster didn't back then. It was the mom and pop stores that
That's
did.
what. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. The mom and pop
That's what I would
stores.
go check out. And I
That's where I
had
would
two of
go.
them in my neighborhood that I would go to one and then I go to the other, and then I forget which one I rented from which because they give you that
Oh
the
yeah,
plastic case.
you
Their
gotta
name
try to
is not
remember.
on the video. So
Oh God,
there was Castle Video and then a place called A to Z Video, and I can't believe I still
A to
remember
Z.
that.
You didn't go to
Yeah,
video. You didn't go to Video Heaven. Video Heaven,
no,
or what
what
was
was
the
that
other
one?
one? I forget what was on 86th Street. I just forget. I remember Video Vault. Obviously, there was a couple of Video Vaults that you remember on 18th Avenue.
Oh yeah, there was one right by the 18th Avenue Blockbuster, literally three
Yes.
doors down. He would hire people to come in and steal from
Yes.
us.
Oh Jesus.
Oh
That
yeah,
was, and
yeah.
then there
We
was
found out later on. Yeah.
Lord Jesus, and then there was the other video. There was another Video Vault on 81st and 19th. I think there was another one over there.
Yes.
Um, the one I used to go to in my neighborhood was Captain Video. I don't know if you remember Captain Video. There was a few of them.
Hmm.
I went to Captain Video, I went to Galaxy Video, and I went to Matt's Video World. Those were my three, where I pretty much could find anything I wanted wrestling related.
Yeah.
Between those three.
Fort Hamilton Video also. I forgot about them. They
Okay.
were on Fort Hamilton Parkway and 80. No, not 80. It was 73rd Street. It
Yeah,
was
there
two
was a
blocks
bunch of
away
different ones.
from McKinley High School.
Yeah.
It was
There was IVS.
next to a deli, so it was great.
Remember IVS? IVS was the other video store. I think that
Yes.
was I forgot what avenue. That one was
Out
on.
of all of them, Casso was the biggest one because it
Yeah.
was a 2-floor
Oh wow.
establishment on 60. What was it? 64th Street and 10th Avenue.
Okay.
And yeah, you go in there and it's just like, whoa.
Yeah. Those were
And then
the.
I didn't see anything bigger than other than we went to Blockbuster, but these were the places that had the videos
Oh yeah, yeah.
that you can rent.
Mm-hmm.
Blockbuster eventually, once the Attitude
Eventually,
Era
yeah.
kicked in, they
Yeah.
started with all of them
But
when it
the
was
old
transitioning
school,
to DVD. But the old school
I mean,
stuff,
some
yeah,
like
you got to go here.
80s, early 90s, you had to go to the mom
Rent
and
it for
pop
what?
shops.
Two bucks for 24 hours. And then
And
if you were a
then
good customer, you can call them up and renew it.
and then
You didn't have to go there.
some of them you couldn't copy, because the two VCRs. Some of them you could copy, and then some of them you would try to
Yeah,
copy them. I
until you learn the electric tape trick
over
the
the
button
thing.
that was crushed.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
once you put it over that, it
You
was
put it
easy
over.
peasy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can say that now.
That's that's old school. That's old school right there.
There was a guy
But
at Blockbuster that did that when I worked at the Seventh Avenue store. He would get his five a week, go home, and he would have his family just copying them all. And I'm like, okay. I was like, you know the trick? He goes, oh yeah, who doesn't? He goes, I'm going to record them, bring them back, and I'll rent five more, record them. I'm like, all right, we opening your own video store.
yeah, you know what, Matt? I only knew that trick worked to record over something. I didn't realize that you
Yeah,
could
you can do
copy.
both.
I didn't know that. I found that out years later. I wish I
Yeah,
would have
so did
known
I.
that.
When I recorded, I accidentally put them backwards and I screwed up the tape and I had to
Yeah,
pay the
yeah,
guy for it.
yeah. That's funny, right?
Surprised I didn't get banned.
Bad memories, man. Memories. But
Yeah, they're
yeah,
all like
man.
this now,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
But that's our review, man. I just want to say once again, rest in peace, to Peter. It's a big, big, big loss to me
It
personally,
is.
and also to our group too. Our group on Facebook. He was a huge, huge, huge contributor, huge, huge wrestling fan.
Oh, I used to
Always,
love the banter back and forth. Him with me or with anybody. You would post something on there and you go back and forth. It was great. He contributed a lot. Didn't know him personally, but from what I gathered on the set, he was a great guy. Sorry I didn't get to meet him and know him personally, and I'm sorry for what you got, you, your
Yeah,
family, and
man.
his family, or everybody are going through. This is really sad, and it sucks.
Yeah, no.
I agree. It just sucks.
Absolutely. I just wanted to add, like, we used to talk wrestling all day, man. Back in the days, we would sit on the stoop for hours and hours and hours just talking wrestling. Other stuff too, sports and stuff like that. But wrestling, we would play the video games together. Obviously, NES and Super Nintendo, Royal Rumble,
Yep.
Raw. We
Oh, I
would
love those.
read the magazines. We'd watch the pay-per-views at each other's houses. Like um, we would play fucking wrestling in the streets. We would we would have matches.
Which is why we're walking around the way we are now.
Yeah, we would have We had a lot of good times, man. And yeah. So I'll see you again one day, brother. All right. That's a review. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, man.